Some of the world's most famous operas were written long before the Wright brothers' famous flight in 1903.
So it might surprise you to learn there's an opera focused on the happenings in an airport, a more modern tale than you might expect on stage in the Orpheum.
That's right. So what's the story? Here to tell us is performer Naomi Louisa O'Connell. Thanks for stopping in. Good to see you, Naomi.
My pleasure.
Well, let's get to you a little bit, because you're not from Omaha. You've been here for 3 weeks, though, right?
That's right.
Just
3 weeks in Omaha.
How'd you get involved with this production?
With this production, I knew James, our director, from a couple of years ago. We met at Juilliard. Actually, he was working with Stephen Wadsworth, who is one of a big mentor of mine and of him, actually, as well. And that's how we got to know each other. And then, you know, the way it happens is through audition process. You do, and managers get in touch and they say, what about this role for that person? And happily it all worked out.
We know about audition processes around here.
I bet you do.
Some of those right now. What is the story of Flight?
Flight takes place in an airport. The first act is a little bit like, if you've ever read an Agatha Christie book, you know, where they bring in all of the characters and they're very much their archetype characters. And in the first act, we're introduced to these people. We meet the first person on stage is the refugee character. And he has a relationship with the controller, who is this kind of god figure, and you only ever really hear her. It's a really interesting plot. That relationship there is just fascinating. And then throughout the story of the opera, in the second act, they are all grounded because of electrical storms. And anybody who's been stuck in an airport knows that that's when things go wrong,
it
right?
starts to eat at you a little bit after a while. You're trapped in the confines of an airport.
Absolutely. And you can see all of these characters break down from their initial happy facade into, you know, complete chaos, actually. Everything goes wrong. I'm not going to give away too much about the actual story itself because it's too interesting, but suffice it to say that there is a lot of bodily function, I suppose, is a way to look at it.
In an opera?
In an opera.
Really?
No, it really, it pushes the boat out.
But
It's
there's
fantastic.
some language, too. It's not probably recommended for young kids, right?
It's a little R-rated,
Okay.
And
unfortunately.
it's actually, it's funny, right?
Oh, it's hilarious. I mean, I have never laughed so much in a rehearsal room with this crowd of people. We laugh ourselves silly every day. And like all good comedies, there are these moments of true tragedy in it as well.
What is your role?
I play the role of the stewardess.
Yeah.
So she is a very pert character. She's all put together. Everything is just so just
Like your
right.
hair. I mean, you've got perfect hair.
Hey,
I mean, I can
thanks.
see.
You know what? I got a cut
for
when I came to Omaha.
Did you sign up for the role?
No, this was actually cut for the gala performance that we did a couple of weeks ago, but this is actually quite similar to the wig that I'll be wearing. She wears a more symmetrical bob.
So I know you don't want to give too much away, but you say she's very pert and put together. Do things start to unravel a bit?
Everything unravels for the stewardess. Yeah, her life just goes up in smoke. Well, she is a very sexual person, and she meets the steward as they come in. They see each other, and it's like, oh, it's you, fantastic. And what they thrive on is this kind of having only 17 minutes in which to do it. So they pop off every chance they can get, you know, into the closet, wherever. You know, there's a little bit of that in the score. You know, when you see the word orgasmically written over a piece of music, you're like, okay, so that's what that's going to be today.
Orgasm. Well, there's a 60-piece orchestra that comes along with it. So how does the orchestra and the music really tie this all together?
Oh God, it lifts it so much. You would be, it's an incredible thing, actually. I love Jonathan Dove's music, I have to say, first of all. He's a really remarkable composer. And he sets the text in such a way that lifts it right out of the page. So you feel like you're watching a play in one way, because the action is so interwoven, and it's not that traditional kind of what people sometimes think of opera as a park and bark, where I'm going to come down here to this side of the stage, sing my aria at you, and then go on. It's not like that at all. It's really, it's recognizable theater. And within that, the music is just, it's glorious. The plane takes off in Act 1, and the rumble through the orchestra. I mean, we have our Sitzprobe tonight, which is the first time that the orchestra and the singers come together, all together in a group, and I just cannot wait to hear what it actually sounds like, because, you know, we've done it on piano, and we have a wonderful rehearsing pianist, Sheldon, who makes it sound incredible just on the piano itself. But when you hear that noise through the orchestra, it's really beautifully
But this is more, I mean, it's more modern age opera, though.
Yes, it is.
Right? So do you think it appeals to the the newer, younger audience that maybe
Absolutely.
kind of
But
getting
not
into
the
opera?
kids, but
Yeah, don't bring your young ones. I mean, you could, from anybody 12 or 13,
Sure.
once you've had the talk with your
Right,
kids,
right.
you can bring your kids. That's fine. But probably not your like 6-year-old. Yes, it appeals to younger people. It would, I think, across the board. What's important to remember as well, modern opera can have, even within the music community, a little bit of a bad reputation where people go, oh, I don't want to go to something that I'm not going to enjoy listening to. This is incredible music. You will go out singing a tune.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. It sticks in your head, something wicked. I mean, it's going like that.
Yeah.
we
Right.
want to
Right
mention
now.
something called midday music as
sure.
well, which is another opportunity to make this music accessible to the people. So what happens at midday music?
At midday music, you get a chance. I think it's at 12:15 on Friday. You will get a chance to meet both our director and our conductor, James and Chris, and they will talk you through everything that goes on behind the scenes in the opera. And you also will hear, I think, some of our cast members do a little excerpt. So it's a really nice way to get into something if you don't quite know your way around it, or you just want to know a little bit of background before you go in and see the piece itself.
That's a great aspect. We also want to mention that ticket holders can come to the Orpheum about 50 minutes prior, 50 minutes prior to the curtain to hear a prelude talk by the conductor or director to learn more about the opera. I think that's, it sounds fascinating. And it's for people that really haven't gotten involved with opera, it's a great first-time opera too. OperaOmaha.org is a website.
Definitely.
And only 2 opportunities to take advantage. You've certainly got us intrigued this morning, and it was wonderful to meet you.
Oh,
Thanks
you
so much
too.
for
Thanks
being
for
here.
having
Yeah,
us.
thanks for coming.
Cheers.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's an opera with a little bit of hanky-panky. Guests of the Morning Blend start